Hey there, welcome to Honors Chemistry. I know it might sound a little scary first, but we're gonna take it slow. This first video is all about the basics, like what even is chemistry? And trust me, it's not just some boring science thing. It actually shows up in a lot of stuff we do every day. Alright, let's start simple. Welcome to Honors Chemistry. In this video, we're answering the question, what is chemistry? We'll explore what chemistry actually is, why it's important, and how it connects to your life, even if you don't realize it just yet. Let's get started. Okay, so yeah, this video is going to give you the whole entire vibe of what chem is. It's not just formulas and lab coats. It's more like figuring out how the stuff around us works, if you know what I mean. And I mean everything. So if you ever wonder how stuff changes or reacts, this is where it starts. Let's move on to the next part. What is chemistry? Alright, so we're saying chemistry a lot, but what even is it? We hear the word in school and on TV, everywhere, but it's actually time to actually define it. Once we understand that, everything else in this class makes more sense. It's all about the stuff we're made of, and how it changes. Sounds simple enough, right? Let's check it out. Chemistry is the study of matter and how it changes. Matter means anything that has mass and takes space, basically everything else around you. Chemistry helps explain what things are made of and what happens when they interact. Cool, so chemistry is like the science of stuff. It's what about everything's made of and what it does when it mixes or changes. That includes solids, liquids, and even gases. Yep, even the air. Chemistry is always happening around us. It's kind of wild when you think about it. Let's keep going. Okay, so you might be thinking right now, why should I care? Which is fair. But chemistry is literally happening around us, all around us, and inside us. It's part of normal life. Let me show you a few examples you have probably never even thought of. Get ready. Every time you cook something, chemistry is happening. New substances form as heat causes reactions. When you breathe, oxygen reacts in your cells to release energy. That's chemistry too. Even rust forming on a bike is a chemical change. See what I mean? You're literally doing chemistry when you eat, breathe, or even leave your bike outside in the rain. It's basically everywhere. And I think that's kind of cool, honestly. And once you realize it, you'll start spotting it all over. Let's move on to matter, since that's the main character in chemistry. Chemical and physical changes. One of the most important ideas in chemistry is the difference between chemical and physical change. It sounds simple, but it's actually super important. Physical changes are more like in changes in form, and chemical ones are changes in what the substance is. Let's read through it. A physical change is when matter changes shape or state but stays the same substance like milk and ice. A chemical change is when a new substance is made like rust or born wood. Chemical changes often involve heat, color change, or gas forming. So yeah, melting, freezing, or cutting something, those are physical changes. The stuff is still the same after, but if you burn wood or mix stuff and it bubbles up, that's a chemical change. Something new is getting made. You'll need to tell these apart a lot in this class, so this is a good one to log in. What is matter? We've mentioned matter a few times, so let's get into it. This is something you'll hear a lot in chem class. It's basically the stuff that makes up everything. But there are some things that aren't matter too, so we should be clear. Let's sort that out. Matter is any substance that has mass and volume. In other words, it weighs something and takes up space. Solids, liquids, and gases are all matter, even air counts, even though you can't see it. Things like light or heat don't have mass or volume, so they aren't considered matter. They aren't. Alright, so matter is pretty much stuff. If it takes up space and has weight, it's matter. Simple as that. That includes air, water, your phone, whatever. But stuff like light and sound, that's energy, not matter. Chemistry focuses on the stuff, not the energy. At least not yet. Let's keep rolling. What is chemistry trying to do? So why do we even study chemistry in the first place? Like, what's the goal here? It's not just about doing labs experiments for fun. Chemistry is trying to explain how stuff works and changes. That's a big deal in the real world. Let's see what it actually means. Chemistry tries to explain what things are made of and how they behave when the conditions change. It looks at how particles are arranged, how they react, and what energy is involved. It helps us predict and control chemical changes from explosions to medicine. So basically, chemists are trying to understand what happens when stuff changes, like heating, freezing, mixing, etc. Once they get how that works, they can use that knowledge to create stuff or fix problems. That's where things like medicine or clean energy comes in. It's not just about knowing, it's about doing something with that info. And that's what makes it awesome. What do chemists study? Okay, so what do chemists actually do all day? Is it just test tubes and mixing stuff? Not really. There's a lot more to it. Chemists work in tons of different fields, not just one. Some even work in a tech or space program. Let's break that down of what they focus on. Chemists might study atoms and molecules, reactions, energy changes, or the makeup of unknown substances. Some chemists work on developing materials for electronics, while others create vaccines for clean energy. It's a science that solves real-world problems. So yeah, chemists are out here solving major problems. They're behind a lot of the cool stuff we use every day, like better phone batteries or new medicines. It is definitely not boring. You can take chemistry in so many directions, and it all starts with the basics we're learning right now. Alright, so chemistry doesn't exist in its own bubble. It actually connects with a bunch of other sciences. Like, you can't do biology without some chemistry, or physics, or even earth science. So let's see how chemistry plays nice with other sciences. Chemistry is known as a central science because it connects physical sciences like physics with life science like biology. It helps explain how biological systems work, how energy moves, and how materials change in our systems. Understanding chemistry helps you understand other sciences better. Okay, so chemistry is kind of the glue holding all the science together. Like biology talking about cells, and cells are made of molecules. Boom! That's chemistry. Right there. Or in physics, you learn about energy, and energy is a huge part of chemical reactions. Basically, knowing chem helps you level up in everything else. That's why it's such a big deal. There's not just one type of chemistry. There's actually a bunch of different branches. Some focus on living things, others on metals, or reactions. Each one has its own thing going on. We don't have to memorize them all now, but it's cool to see variety. Let's check it out. Some major branches of chemistry include organic chemistry, which is the study of carbon-based compounds. Then there's inorganic chemistry, study of non-carbon substances. There is physical chemistry, study of energy and matter interactions. Biochemistry, chemistry of living things. And, lastly, analytical chemistry, which is identifying the substances. So, if you're into living things, biochem might be your thing. More into reaction energy, that's physical chem. Organic's all about carbon, which is basically everything alive. And analytical is kind of like detective work for them. Each type has its different focus, but they all use the same base ideas. Chemistry and careers. Okay, time for the real life question. What can you do with chemistry? Like after high school or college? It turns out chemists work in tons of different jobs, not just labs. They can be in hospitals, factories, or even on crime scenes. Let's see what kind of careers use chemistry. Many careers use chemistry, including pharmacists, chemical engineers, environmental scientists, forensic scientists, doctors, and nurses. Even chefs use chemistry when cooking. Chem isn't just for scientists in labs, it's huge in medicine, engineering, the environment, and even food. Like, if you want to be a doctor someday, you need to know chemistry. And chefs, they're basically doing chemistry every time they cook. So yeah, this stuff is everywhere. And you never know when it might come in handy. Why chemistry matters. Alright, let's take a step back for a second. Like, why should we even care about chemistry? Besides school. Is it really useful? Well, honestly, yeah. It helps with health, tech, the planet, all kinds of stuff. Let's go through with it. Chemistry helps create new medicines, improve technology, and solve environmental problems. It's used to clean water, create safer materials, and understand pollutions. Understanding chemistry lets us make smarter, safer choices in the real world. Chemistry isn't just memorizing facts. It's about using that knowledge to help people and make life better. Like if you want to help the environment, you gotta understand chemistry. Same for designing cool new tech or curing new diseases. It's way more useful than people think. Alright, last slide. Alright, so we've covered a lot today. So let's wrap this up with a quick recap. This is the kind of stuff you'll want to remember all year. It's basically the base of everything else we're learning this year. Chemistry starts with matter, changes, and how stuff interacts. Let's lock that in. Chemistry is the study of matter and how it changes. It connects with other sciences and shows up in real life all the time. Chemists study reactions, energy, and materials. Chemistry helps in medicine, the environment, and new tech. Learning it now sets you up for tons of possibilities. Alright, and that's it. You just learned what chemistry actually is, why it matters, and how it shows up everywhere. Whether you end up being a chemist or not, this stuff sticks with you. It changes how you see the world for real. And we've got a whole year to dig up deeper, so buckle up. This is just the start.